Screen off the exhaust fans, yeah, the bathroom exhaust, which there's hornets in one of them, so you got to
That's
be
really-
careful
yeah.
with that. I would actually go in the bathroom and turn on the fan, and then squirt, bug spray through the fan. It would just push it up through and kill them that way.
Oh, good thinking.
Well, my tenant taught me that. She's like, "Hey, I put hairspray on, and all these wasps started falling out of the vent." I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
are you recording now?"
Yep.
Sorry about
Oh, no worries.
Okay, roof looks good, just the coating's thin,
Okay.
there's coating cracks. There's a little bit of ponding from the AC condensate drain leak up there. Carport roof looks okay, that's the little coating damage. Flashing around the pipe just needs to be 3-core sealed.
Okay.
The vent screens need to be, the vent caps are missing the screens. This is a drain pipe vent that shows like a past Roto-Rooter. So I don't know if they've had drain issues or not, but I would just double check that. I know you had it scoped. Here you kind of see where there's some thin areas. That's the one with the hornets.
Okay.
That's the hall bath. That's the master bath, I believe. Maybe it's the other way around. Yeah, that's probably the hall bath.
Okay.
The pool looking good. I recommend a spark and rain cap for the chimney.
Okay, spark arrestor
Yeah.
/ rain cap.
I've seen raccoon prints inside the house, around the fireplace. I've actually seen a raccoon in the fireplace. I'm moving the damper, and when I look up, I see the claws.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
Were you the one who told me about the Quad Monday by the TV?
Yeah.
That would make it
Right?
exciting.
So this is where that water's coming from, that pipe there.
So it's got a
the-
leak. Okay.
The cable lines are kind of stuck to the roof, so there's a little bit of debris there. And, it's better if they're lifted up so that stuff can drain underneath them. Missing flashing at the electrical conduit, like that's the roof decking. It's like they cut a hole and just missed it, so they kept cutting over and never put
gotcha.
flashing in. That's not such an easy fix because they have to disconnect the electrical, put the flashing in, put the pipe back in. I'm guessing roofers are just going to want to steal the crap out of it, but that's up to them.
Okay.
The AC unit, so that's for the addition. It's a 1-ton unit. It didn't have the proper blocks on the roof. Normally there's some wood blocks where the AC unit's sitting on the blocks and it's lifted up. They just put these rubber bushings down and then screwed the thing to the roof.
Okay.
So the screwed part is where the problem is because that's an extra hole in the roof. And then when it moves, it can
Yeah.
shake and eventually pull that hole out. It's a 1-ton. It has a new refrigerant. It's cooling fine. The wires for that guy, they normally should be in conduit.
Okay.
Also the line, that's the line set. That low pressure line insulation is kind of sun rotted across the roof. I'm guessing that's just original and the sun beat it up. Same thing, blocks to keep it up off the roof. AC number 2, 5-ton, 2012.
How nice is that?
Yeah,
As I said,
that's-
everybody should do that.
I
See
know.
it like 10 feet away, right?
Oh.
Deciphering this mess. The trellis framing, it just
Wear
could
and
use some
tear.
paint, yeah. The siding addition, so this was probably open carport, half wall.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
When they ran the siding in, it doesn't overlap the block. So it's real important to keep that joint sealed up. Otherwise, water will run down that and it'll get into the wall structure there.
How do you handle that here?
Yeah, that's kind of tough there. They probably have to cut the mortar to slide the paneling down or put some flashing in.
I see.
At minimum, maybe just notch it out, but after the fact, it's just keeping it cocked, sealed up.
Okay.
This is just the way the roof kind of addition came together is a little funky. It's fine. The siding on the garage opening, so this is a little more prone to water damage because the siding is actually like sitting on top of the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no flashing there to prevent water from getting into the wall. Same thing, caulk and seal it up. I'd probably recommend putting like a 3 or 4 inch trim across the bottom. That way you
Okay.
caulk and seal it, you put some trim on there, that's gonna be sealed and that'll give you extra protection.
Oh. Does it overlap or?
No, this kind of sits on top of the foundation, so any wind-driven rain, it's just gonna go right in the wall.
Right.
Easy enough to take care of. The best way would be pull the siding off, put flashing in, and put the siding back. But most people aren't gonna do that. Trim across it after it's sealed.
But the trim stops here, it doesn't extend down?
Well, you'd probably put it over the bowl.
Okay, okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Overlap.
Yeah. Cool. Electric panel, it's 150 amps. It's pretty full. I think it's questionable as far as the capacity goes.
What is that?
It's just like a figurine eagle.
Oh, I was like, did he literally catch a hummingbird in like mid-stretch? I was like, that's
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like a brass thing that's just sitting there. There's a main shutoff, that's 150 amps. So the panel's pretty full. I think it's questionable if it needs an upgrade to 200 amp panel.
Okay.
There is a missing knockout at the bottom that just needs to be capped off. The dead front, that's this metal panel here that normally protects the wires. So that thing, it doesn't fit on there right because there's so many wires behind it that are pushed forward.
Yeah.
You need to like cram all those wires back into the panel so this thing can sit flush. Otherwise, you can stick your fingers in there and touch hot conductors.
Okay.
So that's kind of a safety thing, but it's not really replacing anything. It's just adjusting the wiring. In that little barbecue sink cabinet, there's some exposed wiring.
Okay.
That just needs some conduit. That's basically right below that switch.
Okay.
the
Where is that?
where the-
Oh,
The
by the
bar-
kitchen?
barbecue.
Yeah, yeah. That cover is not attached well. This would be the north side wood siding. So same thing here. They make flashing to deal with that joint, but they did a butt joint on the siding, and when you look through that gap, you can see like the inside of the wall. So it just needs to be sealed up to prevent water penetrations. You could probably just use caulking and paint, and then maintain it.
And you said that's right over here.
Yeah, just left of the slider. Looking out. This is the roof decking at the north eaves. So there's a short panel, like when they did the roof decking was like 4 inches short, and they just cut a little 4-inch strip.
Oh,
and
okay.
put that down, which is okay, but when it's that narrow, it's supposed to have little clips to hold the two pieces together or blocking. That way when you stand on it, it's not going to flex and separate the two.
Okay.
Hmm.
And that's in the corner.
The north eaves.
Okay.
At this point, probably blocking added from underneath is the easiest way. That's not
You
that
would use
hard to
like
do.
little
2x4s slide up.
little cleats.
Yeah.
Okay.
One screen that's damaged. That's near the fireplace in the back wall. Your irrigation, I don't get into the irrigation. I'm looking at the valves that are exposed, and they look fine.
Okay.
This would be, so this guy supplies the irrigation.
Uh-huh.
It also supplies the shower and the rear hose bib above the pool. So there's another valve here that's turned off. So for those to function, you have to turn this one on. That goes the irrigation. This guy turns on and it powers up the shower and the hose bib.
Okay.
This one running down is for the pool.
Okay.
All of that needs to be insulated and protected for freeze damage, for sun damage.
And what part of the house is that on?
That's the north wall.
Oh, it's-
The shower,
Was that a shower? Outdoor shower?
yeah, there's an
Oh,
outdoor
okay.
shower there. The piping isn't protected for freeze damage. The deck boards, they're not attached. So if you
It's
stand on
laying.
the edge, it's gonna like flip over.
Okay.
They're just resting on some blocks, basically.
And that's just Trex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. There's the shower valve. So this again, just insulate it for freeze damage, or drain it somehow if, through the winter time. Steps, they're not really uniform in height, and they're missing handrails. This is the sub panel for the pool. That guy has the ground and the neutral wires on the same bus bar. They should be separated from each other. This is the exterior receptacles. Basically, they didn't use the right cover. So that exterior cover, that box that goes over the receptacle, it normally has like 4 or 5 different fittings. So they're universal for all types of outlets. So this one has a square, so see that little plastic thing?
Mhm.
There's like an insert that is supposed to be used to cover up those holes, and they might have just pitched it or bought the wrong ones, I don't know. But now, like, same thing, kids can stick their fingers in there and touch hot conductors.
And that's
That's all the outlets outside.
okay.
All the ones with those boxes, at least. This is the front main water supply coming in. Same thing, just insulate the pipes. The tree on the east side of the home is awfully close to the house.
Okay.
That's a Rus lancia. It's kind of a weed.
Ugh.
I recommend, cutting it down
Okay.
because it's really right next to the building, and over time it's just gonna cost more money to remove and may
Once
cause
you have
damage.
one, you have 1,000.
Yeah.
Popping up everywhere.
Up above the microwave, the box is just not secured.
Okay.
Oh, right. There.
Yeah, so it needs to be attached in there. That's the front door.
Yep, need some.
The weather stripping is either missing or not adjusted right. This isn't really a problem, but you look underneath, you see all the wire
Oh, yeah.
kind of hanging.
Yeah.
There's a cool control here to turn them on.
Uh-huh.
And you have some programs for it, you can dim it and all that.
But
It's set up on this extension or plug, so it's not a problem that it's exposed. It's more of like, if you want to see it hanging
yeah,
down,
on the look of
you
it.
might be able to tuck it up in there and secure it a little better. That's probably what I'd recommend.
Okay.
Right.
While we're here, this outlet should be GFI because it's distance to the sink.
Okay.
Okay.
Water heater, so 2009, 40 gallon. The gas line is missing a debris trap here. The AC unit is missing a condensate trap.
Oh, the little.
Yeah. The water heater, the pressure release valve is not supposed to drain uphill.
Okay.
That thing could be adjusted. I mean, off the record, I probably wouldn't deal with it and wait to do it when you replace the unit.
Okay.
But I still have to note it, it's a safety concern
Yeah.
on the report. You do have some PEX piping, that's for the added bathroom.
Okay.
The original piping is copper. This discoloration on top of the water heater indicates there was a blockage in the exhaust at one point. So normally when the thing turns on, the heat goes up the flue pipe. This tells me it was going out the sides for some time to discolor that. I checked it today and it seemed to be fine. So I'm not really sure what to say about it other than maybe keep an eye on it.
Okay.
No flammables stored on top of the water heater, but we do a smoke test where you light something, blow it out, and the smoke gets sucked up in there. So it's working like it should today.
Okay.
But you really shouldn't see that. So if it gets worse, maybe the cap is damaged, or sometimes the caps get clogged up. I mean, I've seen beer cans in the flues. So I don't know. Or the seller might say, "Oh yeah, we had an issue with that, and we got it fixed." Furnace info. The air handler AC line set connection just need to be sealed up there. They're running
Why?
just air loss.
No. The
Oh, the
two
filters?
two-
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why make the thing work harder?
And they're totally caked with dirt, so, I mean, I guess it's good that they're there. The guy's probably
Oh, because he was
on the
working
home.
on it.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
put them in there, so when you replace the filters, just one filter.
Okay.
The filters, when you go to slide them out, it like hits the side of the door. So they don't go in there real easy, but you can manipulate it enough to get it around. That's a weird picture, but that's the side door
this one
going out,
right
to the,
here?
going out to the carport. So
Oh, okay, in that
I
room.
call that the laundry hallway. So when you step on that threshold, it's like broken. It wants to sag back down.
Okay.
Bedroom number 4, the floor slopes, probably from the original garage slope.
Okay.
The outlet in that bedroom is reverse polarity at that corner. That's where the hot and the neutral are switched around. That would be the northwest corner, bedroom number 4. This is the kitchen right here at that cabinet. It's missing like the molding to fill in that gap between the cabinet and the wall, right there.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of staining at the kitchen, dining room side door. You know, keep up on the paint and weather stripping. The bathroom grout has some cracking at the corners. It's from the wall settling, basically. Sink drains. This is the hall bathroom sink drain, I believe. The trap is too deep, so the water line is like right here. So that whole thing is holding water that much. That just makes it real hard for it to drain out right. It's going to end up causing odors. This trap gets turned around. It can be raised up quite a bit, and it's going to function better. Both pocket doors in the master are missing the latch assembly, so you can grab it and pull it out. Once it's in there, it's like stuck in there.
Oh.
Wall cabinets. So the closet cabinets, as well as the hallway cabinets, they're not attached to the wall. Also, the master sink countertop is not attached. Like you can lift the thing up. This would be bedroom number 3 bathroom.
That's IKEA.
Yeah. Yeah, bedroom number 3. So the sink drain is leaking here. It kind of looks like, yeah, I don't know what is going on with that fitting. That's really weird. It may be like a special IKEA glued fitting. Normally, you know, you have like a threaded slip joint.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what those slots are for, but something's going on with that fitting. It's leaking.
Wait, isn't there supposed to be something over it that
That's what
compresses?
I mean. Yeah, normally there's a coupler there of some sort. So I'm not sure what it's missing, to be honest, but it needs repair.
Okay.
The front lights are not attached, and because that box is sitting on a flat surface, I think water might get in that box and cause a problem. There's no like gasket on that fixture. They're just kind of laying there, held down by the wiring. This looks like a fixture that's designed for a wall.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it's manufactured for that kind of flush mount horizontal location, but at minimum, get them secured, you know, protect that box somehow from getting wet. There's a little stain in the ceiling that's basically right there in the foyer.
Entry.
There's some nail pops kind of along that corner. This is the mold underneath the furnace.
So
it's,
where-
it's a small section of wall. That's on the inside of that,
Okay.
that first
Registered.
cavity. So there's just a little bit of mold there.
Okay.
It's not super severe, but
And you said it is dry.
And the
right?
wood doesn't even look.
no, it looks dry, but you know, that's where all the air passes through for the whole
Okay.
house. So that you don't want that getting
Yeah.
distributed throughout the house. And then that one pipe, it's just
Okay.
awfully corroded. So I could see back up there a ways, and the fitting up here is also corroded.
And that's from,
Something in the wall has leaked, and it leaked enough and long enough for that to occur. So
And that was from water heater?
yeah, right behind
Okay.
the right behind the water heater.
Okay. And how about that? Yeah, is that mold up on?
It's just some stains, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be from like the water heater itself leaking and then running down that pipe,
Mm.
but
Uh-huh.
I think it's more of a fitting issue. That's all the pictures I got.
Okay.
Um,
That's a lot of